in the quiet hours between dusk and dawn, when the world softens and the forest breathes in long, unhurried rhythms, a gentle life stirs beneath the canopy. Light does not yet pierce the treetops. Instead, it rests atop them in a muted wash of silver, allowing the woodland below to exist inside a soft, unbroken stillness. Within this tranquil sanctuary lives a creature both familiar and easily overlooked, a Pokémon shaped by centuries of adaptation, family bonds, and the subtle flow of electricity coursing through its body. Tonight, we journey into the serene world of Pikachu, observing it in its natural habitat, far from the noise of trainers and bustling cities. When the first hints of morning finally seep through the canopy, they arrive not as bright beams of daylight, but as a gentle brightening of the air, an almost imperceptible shift that carries the scent of damp earth and cooling bark. The forest floor remains shaded, blanketed by a fine layer of mist that traces the contours of fallen logs and tangled roots. It is here, in the stillness, that Pikachu begins its day. A small burrow rests beneath the thick roots of an aging tree. The entrance is rounded, smoothed by years of tiny claws brushing the earth. From within comes a faint hum, soft, steady, and warm. Pikachu emerges with slow, deliberate steps, its fur lightly crackling with the residual static built up during the night. The cool air catches this gentle electricity, spreading it outward in tiny, shimmering currents. Pikachu pauses at the threshold, ears rising and rotating with unhurried curiosity. The forest has moods, and each morning offers a different tone. Today it is calm, thick with moisture, its sounds muffled and softened. A low tremor vibrates beneath the soil, not dangerous, not threatening, merely the movement of its prey, the larval form of Burmy, shifting near the surface as it feeds on decaying leaves. Pikachu does not rush toward the sound. Instead, it walks in measured steps, each movement deliberate, allowing the forest to remain undisturbed. At the base of a nearby tree, the soil is loose. Pikachu places one paw gently upon it. Its whiskers twitch. A faint spark flickers from its cheeks, not enough to alarm, merely enough to confirm presence. The Burmy freezes beneath the earth. Pikachu delivers a soft jolt, just strong enough to momentarily stop the lava's movement. What follows is swift and peaceful, a quiet foraging act essential for survival, taken with the calm precision of a creature long attuned to the rhythms of the forest. Life continues around it. A Buneary hops past with unhurried grace, pausing only to sniff the air before disappearing into the underbrush. High in the branches, a distant cry echoes, the long hollow note of a Fearow, Pikachu's most vigilant predator. For now, the bird is merely observing from afar, its silhouette gliding across the pale morning sky. Pikachu remains aware of this presence, even without looking upward. Its tail shifts slightly, pointing toward the tree roots. Not in fear, but in acknowledgement, as though both predator and prey accept the unspoken rules of their shared environment. Today, the Fearow does not descend. Hunger will eventually drive it, and its pursuit will be swift and merciless. But not now, not in the early calm. After its meal, Pikachu returns to the clearing, where the mist begins to thin in slow spirals. It takes time to groom itself, running small paws along its fur, smoothing stray patches where sparks cling too tightly. Each movement is slow, almost meditative. When satisfied, Pikachu sits quietly with its back against the tree root, allowing warmth from the rising sun to settle over its body. This is the gentle cadence of a Pikachu morning, aware, calm, connected to the earth and its quiet energies. Soon, the forest will fully awaken. And with it, Pikachu's world will broaden, filled with family interactions, subtle communication, and the silent negotiation of territories. But for now, The day begins simply, softly, and with an unhurried breath. As morning deepens and the mist gradually dissolves, the forest undergoes a subtle shift. Shadows soften, colours warm, the air gains a gentle buoyancy, carrying with it the faint aroma of moss warmed by the sun. It is during this tranquil window, neither early morning nor yet afternoon, that Pikachu seeks out something essential to its well-being: companionship. Though often imagined as solitary wanderers, wild Pikachu live in small, loosely connected groups known as drifts. These groups vary in size depending on the season and the availability of food. Some may consist of only 2 or 3 individuals, while others, during periods of abundant berries, gather more frequently. Yet no matter the number, the tone remains the same: quiet, understated, and deeply cooperative. Today, Pikachu approaches the heart of a drift, a circular patch of soft soil nestled between tree roots, where sunlight arrives in scattered fragments. Each fragment glitters faintly as it catches residual static, lingering in the air from earlier activity. The area smells gently of fresh berries and dry earth, a scent both familiar and reassuring. 2 Pikachu are already present, resting comfortably on opposite sides of the clearing. Their bodies are relaxed, eyes half closed, releasing thin threads of static that flicker and fade before reaching the ground. These threads serve a purpose beyond passive discharge. They signal mood, health, and presence, a delicate, unspoken dialogue. As our Pikachu enters, it releases its own muted pulse, soft and rhythmic. The other Pikachu respond in kind. No vocalizations, no abrupt movements, only an exchange of warmth through controlled electricity. It is a greeting refined across generations, as subtle as the twitch of a leaf in gentle wind. A young Pichu sits nearby, small and unsteady, its static unpredictable. Tiny sparks pop around its cheeks in irregular bursts, scattering thin wisps of warmth into the air. The elder Pikachu approach the youngster with patient steps, touching their tails lightly to its back. A steady current flows from them, a gentle guidance, helping the Pichu's electric pulses fall into a calmer rhythm. This early education is essential. Uncontrolled electric discharge can draw unwanted attention from predators, or inadvertently harm the drift. Through repetition and gentle correction, the young learn to regulate their currents, shaping not only their safety, but also their place within the group. The serenity of the moment is interrupted only by a distant rustling that spreads along the treetops like a passing breeze. The sound is familiar: Fearow, shifting position high above. Its wings cut through the air with broad, steady sweeps. It is not hunting yet, but its presence alone is enough to ripple a subtle tension through the clearing. The drift responds as one. Their sparks dim, their posture lowers, their bodies draw closer together, creating a soft but unified field of static. This cohesion does not challenge the predator, it discourages it. A grouped cluster of Pikachu is far more likely to defend itself effectively than a lone individual. The Fearow observes for a moment, perhaps considering whether the effort is worthwhile. Eventually, it turns away, gliding back through the canopy until its shadow dissolves entirely. In the wake of the predator's departure, the clearing exhales. Static rises again in faint curls. The drift gradually resumes its gentle grooming rituals, smoothing fur, aligning whiskers, dissipating uneven sparks. These acts are not simply hygienic, they reinforce trust. A Pikachu allows grooming only when it feels safe, and through these soft touches, the drift re-establishes that security. Our Pikachu settles beside the others, lowering its body into the warm soil. It closes its eyes and emits a slow, pulsing hum. The ground beneath it vibrates faintly, absorbing the excess charge. As the sun settles into its late morning position, the forest takes on a gentler warmth. Light no longer filters in faint ribbons, but spreads more evenly across the woodland floor, illuminating patches of fern and clusters of moss with a soft golden glow. This is the hour when many Pokémon grow more active, yet for Pikachu, it is a time for stillness, reflection, and the careful tending of its most defining attribute, electricity. Electricity shapes every part of Pikachu's existence. It is its method of communication, self-defense, foraging, and even emotional expression. But contrary to popular imagination, this energy is not stored in dramatic surges. Instead, it flows in subtle currents, slow, deliberate, and deeply influenced by the environment. Pikachu selects a quiet spot at the edge of an old tree hollow. The bark here is smooth from years of gentle friction, and it retains warmth even in cooler hours. A faint hum vibrates through the wood, the natural static of the forest interacting with the delicate charge Pikachu carries. The Pokémon settles onto the ground, its posture relaxed, its breath steady. With each exhale, thin threads of electric light flicker from its cheeks, brief warm pulses that resemble the glow of distant fireflies. The pulses grow softer and more regular, forming a slow, calming rhythm. This ritual is both instinctual and necessary. Pikachu must regulate its electricity throughout the day, ensuring that the charge within never rises too sharply or falls too low. Too much buildup can create accidental sparks strong enough to damage nearby foliage or attract unwanted attention. Too little leaves Pikachu weakened, its senses dulled, and its reaction time slowed. Nearby, a solitary Buneri grazes on young shoots sprouting from the base of a fallen log. The Buneri pays little mind to Pikachu. Over generations, both species have learned to coexist peacefully. Pikachu's electricity, when stable and controlled, poses no threat, and Buneri, being vigilant by nature, trusts its agility should danger arise. The forest remains quiet, until a faint rustle moves through the leaves overhead. A shadow passes across the ground, long and narrow, gliding with patient certainty. There is no mistaking the source. Fearow, circling again, tracing a slow pattern above the treetops. It is not yet descending, but its vigilance influences every creature below. Pikachu's ears turn subtly, its whiskers lift, yet its breathing remains calm. Electric pulses soften further, reducing any visual or auditory signal that might reveal its exact position. Predators shape the lives of prey species, not only through direct hunting, but through the constant presence of possibility. Pikachu has survived as long as it has not because it is strong, but because it understands when to be quiet, when to retreat, and when to let itself blend into the natural energy of the forest. After several minutes, the Fearow drifts toward a more distant section of the canopy, its silhouette growing smaller until it disappears behind thick branches. A stillness returns, as though the entire forest takes a unified breath. With danger past, Pikachu resumes its quiet work. Its tail touches the bark lightly, drawing in the ambient static stored within the wood. Even inanimate trees hold traces of electricity transferred by storms, by nearby Pokémon, or by subtle shifts in the natural world. Pikachu absorbs only what it needs, never too much, never too fast. In time, its fur smooths with renewed energy. Its cheeks glow in a soft, buttery yellow tone. There is no sharpness to the light, no crackling, just warmth, like a lantern covered by thick fabric. As Pikachu rises, the forest around it seems to respond with gentle affirmation. Leaves rustle softly in the breeze. A distant stream whispers over smooth stones. Even the soil beneath its feet feels richer, energized by the small discharges Pikachu has released into it. Soon, Pikachu will move on to explore the deeper woods, seeking food, encounters, and perhaps opportunities to teach younger members of the Drift. But for this moment, its focus remains internal, a calm attunement to the silent currents that sustain its life. As night embraces the forest in its cool, velvety darkness, the world settles into a hush so complete it feels almost timeless. The canopy above is now a tapestry of deep blue and drifting shadows, while the forest floor rests in quiet stillness, softened by layers of fallen leaves and the faint glow of nocturnal spores. In this tranquil world, Pikachu sleeps, its small breaths rising and falling in harmony with the gentle pulse of electricity that lingers within its drift. Throughout this journey, we have followed Pikachu through the natural rhythms of its day, the measured awakening at dawn, the calm foraging that shapes its survival, the subtle communication that binds its social world, the ever-present balance between predator and prey, the quiet work of internal growth, and the serene return to its burrow as evening falls. Each moment offered a view into the life of a creature often celebrated for its spark, yet far more defined by its softness, its patience, its careful steps, its understanding of the forest's delicate equilibrium. Though the forest holds hardship, danger, and the constant presence of predation, these elements are not disruptions. They are woven into the very fabric of Pikachu's existence. And still, within that tapestry of uncertainty, Pikachu finds rest, connection, nourishment, and gentle continuity. As you, the listener, rest now in the comfort of your own space, far from the unpredictability of wild places, let the calm rhythms of this forest linger with you. Let the slow breath of sleeping Pikachu, the warm hum of its electricity, and the steady cycles of nature ease your mind into deeper relaxation. The modern world moves quickly, far faster than the quiet life beneath the canopy. But for a little while, we have walked at the forest's pace, slowed to its heartbeat, and listened to the soft symphony of a day lived gently. And as the drift sleeps safely beneath their intertwined roots, know that the forest remains watchful. Its night, neither threatening nor dark, but peaceful.